Hi, I'm Meg from Tokyo. In this video, I will share with you the top 10 new money rules in Japan.
For foreign tourists visiting Japan, understanding money rules is just as important as knowing local culture and manners. In recent years, due to increasing inbound tourism and social changes, Japan's money-related systems have been evolving, such as revisions to the tax exemption system, the growing acceptance of tipping, and the expansion of cashless payments. In this video, I will highlight the latest money trends in Japan that are helpful to know while traveling.
Before we get started, let me share with you something. We offer private tours in Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto. If you are interested, please contact us through the link below. Alright, then let's go.
Number 1. Significant reform of tax exemption system. In Japan, most things you buy have a 10% sales tax except for groceries. However, foreign tourists don't have to pay the 10% tax if they spend a certain amount and shop at stores with tax-free shopping. The rules for tax-free shopping started to change in April 2025 and more changes are coming in November 2026. Here are 5 important changes that travelers should know. 1. Elimination of self-shipment for duty-free goods. This change may not have a major impact on those who properly use the duty-free system. Until now, it was acceptable to send goods overseas yourself via the post office, but starting in April 2025, this will no longer be allowed. However, if you leave your purchases at the store and the store ships them overseas via a shopping company, they will still be eligible for the tax exemption. In short, you cannot ship it yourself, but if the store ships it for you, it's okay. 2. Shift to a refund-based duty-free system. Currently, when shopping at the duty-free store, you receive the tax exemption at the time of purchase, meaning you pay the tax-free price up front. But from November 2026, this system will change dramatically. Here is how it will work. First, you make the purchase with tax included. Then, when leaving Japan, you must go through customs at the airport and show the items to prove you are taking them overseas. Once confirmed, the consumption tax will be refunded later. This new method is called the refund method. While it helps prevent fraud, it has downsides for tourists. The price isn't reduced at the time of purchase and you will have to wait for the refund. 3. Removal of the purchase limit for duty-free items. This is a positive change for tourists. Currently, there is a daily limit of 500,000 yen for purchases of consumable items like cosmetics, food, and medicine. This limit will be eliminated after November 2026. 4. Elimination of special packaging. This change will reduce the burden on retailers but may be a bit inconvenient for tourists. Currently, duty-free items in Japan are placed in sealed, transparent bags to prevent them from being opened before leaving the country. However, after November 2026, this special packaging will no longer be required. Tourists will need to be careful not to open duty-free items while still in Japan. 5. Shortened period for taking duty-free goods out of the country. This is another change that may inconvenience travelers. At present, duty-free items must be taken out of the country within 6 months. After November 2026, this period will be shortened to 90 days. Number 2. Tipping culture arrives in Japan. Next, I'd like to talk about the recent change in tipping culture in Japan. In Japan, it has traditionally not been customary to tip for services at restaurants or hotels. Japan has long been known as a no-tipping culture. However, in recent years, the situation has been gradually changing. For example, tip boxes have been installed at the popular chain Gyukatsu Motomura, which has locations in Tokyo, Osaka, and other cities. Also, when using tax dispatch apps, a message such as "Would you like to leave a tip?" is sometimes displayed. Even though things are changing, many people on social media still believe that tipping in Japan is rude, but that's not true. In Japan, it's considered polite to say things like "no thank you" or "please don't worry about it" when receiving something. This kind of polite response can be misunderstood as a rejection or as if the person is angry, leading to confusion like "did they say no?" or "were they upset?"
In other words, although the basic idea in Japan is still that tipping is unnecessary, the number of situations where tipping is accepted is slowly increasing.
Number 3. Cashless payment at shrines. Cashless payment is also becoming popular at shrines and temples alongside cash payment. Recently, shrines and temples such as Zojoji Temple and Kanda-myojin in Tokyo have started allowing visitors to make offerings using smartphone payments. By scanning the QR code displayed in front of the offering box with a smartphone, a payment screen appears and the user can enter the amount they wish to offer. Since apps like PayPay, widely used in Japan, are supported, it has become more convenient to visit shrines even without carrying cash. These cashless offerings are treated as tax-exempt income for religious organizations and are used to help cover maintenance and operating expenses. This method is also attracting attention as a countermeasure against theft. However, some people feel uneasy about sending money to the gods through a smartphone. The way we express gratitude may gradually evolving with the times. Number 4. Introduction of dual pricing for transportation services. Recently, there has been an ongoing debate over whether dual pricing should be introduced on city buses in Kyoto. In response to complaints such as there are too many tourists and locals cannot ride, the mayor of Kyoto City has expressed his intention to introduce citizen priority pricing, in which fares would be divided between residents and non-residents by the end of FY 2027. If realized, this will be the first such initiative in Japan's public transportation system. However, Japanese law prohibits unfair and discriminatory treatment of passengers, so there is a significant legal hurdle to implementing such a system for public transit. On the other hand, some facilities have adopted dual pricing. For example, at the Jangria theme park, scheduled to open in Okinawa this July, the admission fee is split into two categories, 6,930 yen for residents of Japan and 8,800 yen for overseas tourists. Furthermore, a dual pricing system will be introduced at Himeji Castle next spring. In this case, prices will vary based on place of residence, 1,000 yen for Himeji citizens and 2,500 yen for others.
Personally, I can understand the introduction of dual pricing for public facilities as long as it is clearly disclosed in advance.
Number 5. Increased penalties for bicycles. Starting in November 2024, penalties for bicycle use have been tightened in Japan. The first offense is using a smartphone while riding. Holding a smartphone to talk or looking at the screen while riding a bicycle is prohibited. Violators may face imprisonment of up to 6 months or a fine of up to 100,000 yen. The next serious offense is riding under the influence of alcohol. This is punishable by up to 3 years in prison or a fine of up to 500,000 yen. These rules also apply to foreign tourists staying in Japan. Violations may not only result in penalties but also affect your ability to renew or obtain a visa.
To enjoy a safe and pleasant trip, please follow Japan's traffic rules carefully.
Number 6. New Japanese yen notes released. In July 2024, new banknotes were issued in Japan. 3 types of bills were affected: the 10,000 yen note, the 5,000 yen note, and the 1,000 yen note. To prevent counterfeiting, the latest hologram and watermark technologies have been introduced. Although the new banknotes are now commonly seen on the streets, some tourists may be confused by the different design compared to the old banknotes. Both the old and new versions are valid and can be used throughout Japan. However, some vending machines and ticket machines may still be incompatible with the new banknotes, meaning they may not accept them. In such cases, try using a different payment method or ask a staff member for assistance. Extra caution is needed when using local transportation systems. For example, the bus fare boxes and some ticket machines of Nishi Nippon Railroad are not yet compatible with the new banknotes, with updates expected to be completed by March 2026.
When using buses in Fukuoka, Hakata, or other rural areas, please pay attention to the types of banknotes you carry.
Number 7. Kyoto's tourist tax shock. Tourist cities such as Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto have already introduced lodging taxes. Tokyo currently charges a maximum of 200 yen per night. Osaka has a maximum of 300 yen, which will be raised to 500 yen per night starting in September 2025. So far, this may still be considered reasonable. However, Kyoto already has a higher maximum rate of 1,000 yen and is scheduled to raise it significantly to 10,000 yen per night starting in March 2026. Why is Kyoto the only place with such a high rate? The reason lies in Kyoto City's serious budget deficit. You may be wondering, why are the city's finances so tight when it has so many tourists? The main reason is that although Kyoto has many famous tourist attractions, it doesn't generate much tax revenue for the Kyoto city. For example, many temples such as Kinkakuji and Kiyomizu-dera are operated by religious organizations which are exempt from property tax and do not contribute revenue from admission fees or building taxes to the city. As a result, the city has little choice but to supplement its finances through accommodation taxes from tourists. Taxing shrines and temples has also been discussed, but due to strong opposition from religious organizations, such measures have not yet been implemented. Number 8. Price decline of Japanese staple foods. Here is the update that the price of Japan's staple food, rice, may be going down. In fact, the price of rice in Japan is currently more than double what it was a year ago. This has been a major issue for convenience stores, supermarkets, restaurants, and others, as it has significantly impacted their prices. One of the causes is the distribution structure. Rice passes through many wholesalers before reaching consumers, with additional costs being added at each stage. With the recent change of the Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, the government has begun reviewing this distribution system. Specifically, a new system is being introduced in which the government stockpiled rice is sold directly to major supermarkets, bypassing the wholesalers. This is expected to bring rice prices down in the future. However, there is strong opposition to this initiative from vested interest groups such as JA. Nevertheless, the top priority now is to reduce the price of rice, which has a broad impact on overall food prices, and the government is taking full-scale action to address this issue. Number 9. Advantages of traffic IC cards. Having transportation IC cards such as Suica, Pasmo, or Ikoga is very convenient in many situations. In some areas, the fare can be up to 10 yen cheaper than a regular paper ticket. Although the difference is small, IC cards allow for smoother transfers and are far more convenient than paper tickets. They can also serve as a backup method of electronic payment. This is because in Japan, credit cards issued overseas are sometimes not accepted at certain stores and vending machines. IC cards are also a convenient option for those who find paying in cash troublesome. Number 10. Inbound price reality. In recent years, an increasing number of services have been perceived as more expensive than the market price by Japanese people. For example, in the city of Kitakata, Fukushima Prefecture, a new high-end ramen has appeared on the market at 3,000 yen per bowl. This special Kitakata ramen uses the original pork bone broth and is richly flavored with locally raised Aizu beef from Fukushima. In addition, it is served in Aizu lacquerware, traditional Japanese wooden items coated with a shiny, protective finish, and the specialty-made chopsticks can be taken home as a souvenir. However, many Japanese people feel that the ramen is still too expensive, no matter how much they are told it offers high value through the quality and ingredients, as there is a general sense that around 1,000 yen is the usual price for ramen. In addition, the number of stores catering to foreign visitors to Japan is rapidly increasing in Osaka's Kuromon market. Some of the prices are eye-watering to Japanese people, such as 4,000 yen per skewer of Kobe beef or 30,000 yen for 4 crab legs.
That's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe and like button. See you at the next video.